In a small dusty village, where everybody knew everybody, there lived two sisters who were like day and night. The first was named Mirror. People said her face was like a mirror because when you looked at her, you saw beauty. Her skin was smooth, her eyes bright, her hair long and black like wet silk. Men stopped talking when she passed. Women whispered and envied her. Children followed her with smiles. The second sister was Myra. Myra did not have smooth skin. Small scars from childhood sickness marked her face. Her nose was a little crooked, her teeth not perfect, and her hair always seemed too dry, too stubborn. People did not like to look at her for long. Some laughed. Some pretended not to see her. Where Mirror walked, admiration followed. Where Myra walked, silence followed. Their mother, Marocos, saw both daughters with her own eyes, but not with her heart. She loved Mirror loudly. My beautiful princess, she would say, fixing Mirror's hair, buying her nice fabrics from the market whenever she could. One day, a rich man will marry you and take us all from this village. You hear me? A big man. Maybe even a billionaire. Then she would look at Myra and sigh. Myra, go wash the plates. Sweep the compound. Help in the farm. At least be useful. Myra never talked back. She would just smile a small sad smile and say, yes, Ma. She wore old second-hand dresses that used to belong to Mirror. The clothes were always a little too big or a little too tight. But Myra did her work, helped everybody, greeted everyone with respect. When an old woman fell in the market, it was Myra who ran to lift her up. When a child cried because he lost his coin, it was Myra who searched the ground with him until they found it. When a neighbor got sick, it was Myra who cooked and carried food there, even if their mother complained. Why are you wasting my rice on them? Marocos would shout. Because they are hungry, Ma, Myra would answer softly. But still, no one chose her. In the big city far away, there was a man named Mr. Felix. He was a young billionaire, owner of many companies, hotels, farms, shops, even a big tech business that village people didn't understand. They only knew one thing. Mr. Felix has money that can buy countries, someone once said in the village. People laughed, but they also believed it. Mr. Felix had everything, cars, houses, fine clothes. But he did not have one thing. Peace. Many women chased him, but he was tired of beautiful faces with ugly hearts. They loved his money, not his soul. They smiled at him in public and spoke badly about him in secret. One evening, after another fake dinner with another fake woman, he told his driver, I'm tired of this city noise. Take me somewhere quiet. Any village. I don't care where. The driver thought for a moment and then smiled. Sir, I know one small village. My mother is from there. Peace is there like water. Mr. Felix leaned his head back. Good. Take me there. He didn't know that this small decision would change everything. And he didn't know that in that village, there was a girl people called ugly. A girl who carried exactly what he was looking for. 2 days later, the village woke up to news that moved faster than the wind. A big man is coming. A rich man. With a big car. Women quickly tied their best cloth. Men brushed their shoes. Children ran around shouting. Marocos heard it too. Who is he? She asked the neighbor. They say he is a billionaire from the city, the neighbor whispered. The driver is from here. Marocos' eyes shone. She turned and looked at Mirror like she had found gold. My daughter, she said slowly, go and wear the blue dress. The one that shows your shape. Today might be the day your life changes. Mirror smiled proudly. What about me, Ma? Myra asked softly. Marocos didn't even look at her. You. Stay in the house. Don't come out. I don't want that rich man to see you and change his mind about our family. Myra's heart broke a little, but she nodded. Okay, Ma, she whispered. She went to the back of the house, where nobody was watching her. She didn't know that Mr. Felix's car would stop exactly where she stood. And not where Marocos and Mirror were waiting at the front. Myra stood at the back of the house, washing cassava quietly. She sang a soft song under her breath, the kind that healed her heart when the world felt too heavy.
Yeah. You don't see it, but I feel it. Every night, every breath inside my head. There's a storm in my mind I can't control. I smile outside, but inside it shows. My laughter hides 1,000 tears. I drown in silence, nobody hears. I try to talk, but the words don't stay. They fall like echoes that fade away. Every thought becomes a weight, and my peace comes a little too late. Oh, I've been strong too long, pretending nothing's wrong, but this pain keeps knocking deep in the places I can't reach. My pain's in my head, it's screaming loud. How I wish I could pour it out. It's hard to move, it's hard to breathe. This hurt don't ever leave. How I wish my heart could speak. Tell the world where words can't reach it. Tears could talk, they tell the truth. The pain I hide from you. Every night I fight my mind. I pray for peace I cannot find. But where the smile is paper thin, covering fire that burns within. The world says you'll be fine someday, but they don't feel it the same way. If my thoughts can make a sound, you'd know the storms I carry round down. I'm tired of being brave, tired of being saved. I just want someone.
Nobody knew this part of her. The gentle way she moved. The quiet peace around her. The softness in her eyes. Everyone only saw her face. Nobody ever saw Myra. The roar of a car engine broke the silence. A black SUV, shiny like new money, rolled into the village, slowly, like it was afraid to step on the humble soil. Children chased after the car, shouting. Women fixed their dresses. Men stood straight and cleared their throats. Mr. Felix looked out the window as faces blurred past him. Fake smiles. Hopeful eyes. People wanting something from him. Again. He sighed. Sir, the driver said, I should pass through the back first. The road in front is crowded. Fine, Felix replied without interest. The car turned straight toward the back of Myra's house. Myra didn't see the car coming. She bent to pick up a fallen bowl, whispering a prayer that the water wouldn't spill. When she stood up, she froze. A long black car was parked right in front of her. And a man stepped out. Not just any man. A tall man in a crisp white shirt, watch shining like ice, face calm but tired. Mr. Felix. For a moment, everything stopped, the birds, the wind, even Myra's breath. Their eyes met. Myra quickly looked down, embarrassed. Her heart beat too fast. She knew she didn't look like her sister. She knew strangers always stared with confusion or pity. But Mr. Felix didn't stare. He smiled. A small, gentle smile that warmed the air around him. Myra blinked, confused. Good morning, he said softly. She hesitated. No rich man had ever spoken to her like that. She bowed her head. Good morning, sir. He noticed her hands trembling slightly, the cassava water splashing her dress. He stepped closer, not too close, just enough to show respect. I'm sorry, he said. I didn't mean to startle you. Myra shook her head. No, it's okay. People are just not used to seeing cars back here. Felix chuckled. Maybe I also needed to see this side of life. Myra looked up, surprised by his voice. It was calm, deep, honest. The kind of voice you could trust. On the other side of the house, Marocos and Mirror waited at the front gate. Mirror had put on her best dress. Her skin glowed with coconut oil. Her lips were painted red. Her smile trained in the mirror. Where is he? Mirror hissed. He should be here by now. Marocos replied, fanning herself anxiously. A child ran by, shouting. He went to the back. His car passed behind the house. Marocco's heart dropped. The back, she shouted. What is he doing there? WHO is he seeing? Mirror's eyes widened. Myra is at the back. Both women ran like they were chasing their future. Meanwhile, Mr. Felix continued talking to Myra. "Are you from this house?" he asked. "Yes, sir. I live here with my mother and sister." Felix nodded. "You're very polite," he said. "It's rare these days." Myra looked down shyly. Her heart warmed. Nobody ever complimented her. Nobody. She whispered, "Thank you." Just as Felix was about to ask her name, Morocco's voice cracked through the air. "Mirror, what are you doing there?" She dragged her slippers as she ran, almost falling. Mirror followed behind, beauty glowing like the sun. Felix turned. Morocco's reached them, face full of fake smiles. "Ah, sir. Welcome," she cried, breathless. "Oh, you've met my daughters." Mirror stepped forward, flipping her hair. Myra stepped back quietly, eyes lowered. Felix's eyes moved from Mirror's perfect face, then back to Myra's gentle, honest one. And something in him chose differently. He smiled at Myra again. "What's your name?" he asked. Morocco's froze. Mirror's smile cracked. Myra swallowed hard. "My name is..." Her voice trembled. "Myra." Felix repeated the name softly, like it meant something. "Myra," he said. "That's a beautiful name." And right there, under the morning sun, the story began. The moment Mr. Felix said Myra's name, something changed in the air. Mirror felt it first, a strange heaviness in her chest. All her life, she had been the one people admired, the one boys chose, the one women wished they could be. But Felix's eyes, they weren't looking at her. They were looking at Myra. Morocco's felt panic rising like hot water in her throat. This was not the plan. Mirror was supposed to shine. Mirror was supposed to catch the billionaire's attention. Mirror was supposed to save this family. Not Myra. Never Myra. Morocco's smile twitched. She quickly grabbed Mirror's wrist and pulled her forward. "Sir, this is Mirror," Morocco said loudly, blocking Myra halfway with her body. "My beautiful daughter. The village queen." Mirror flipped her hair, gave the kind of smile she knew made men weak. Felix nodded politely at Mirror. But his eyes returned to Myra instantly. "Your sister is very polite," he said calmly. "She greeted me with so much respect." Myra blinked, shocked. Nobody ever praised her. Mirror's smile faltered. Morocco's eyes narrowed. "Ah, yes," Morocco said quickly, "but Mirror." Felix gently raised a hand to silence her. "I would like Myra to show me around the village," he said. The world froze. You could have dropped a spoon on the ground and heard it echo. Mirror's mouth dropped open. Morocco's choked on her own breath. Even the chickens in the yard stopped moving. "Sir, what did you say?" Morocco stammered. Felix's voice was calm, firm, and full of something none of them understood. "Myra," he repeated. "I want her to show me around." Myra stepped back, almost tripping. "Me," she whispered. "Sir, no. I'm not." Felix smiled. A gentle smile that made warmth spread through her chest. "You are humble and respectful. That's enough." Those words hit everyone like thunder. Mirror's nails dug into her palms. She had never been rejected. Not once. Not by anyone. She stared at Myra with eyes full of something dark, something new. Jealousy. Morocco stepped in front of Myra quickly, blocking Felix's view. "Sir. Myra is not the right person." Felix's eyes hardened. "I decide who is right for me," he said. Morocco's froze. Nobody talked back to her like that. Felix turned to Myra again. "If you don't mind," he said softly, "please take a walk with me." Myra's mouth trembled. She looked at her mother, then at Mirror, then at Felix. "But, my clothes," she whispered, embarrassed. Felix shook his head gently. "I didn't come for clothes, Myra. I came for peace." Myra felt something warm fill her chest. Nobody had ever talked to her like this. Nobody had ever seen her beyond her face. She nodded shyly. "I will show you, sir." Mirror's fists clenched. Morocco's felt her plans falling apart like broken glass. She grabbed Mirror's hand and whispered harshly, "We need to stop this." Mirror nodded slowly, eyes burning with rage. Because in that moment, everyone realized. Myra was no longer invisible. She was becoming a threat. And Morocco's and Mirror were ready to do anything. Anything. To make sure Myra never became the girl a billionaire could love. Not knowing. Felix had already seen something in Myra. That money could not buy. Beauty could not earn. And jealousy could not destroy. Myra walked ahead slowly, her hands shaking as she guided Mr. Felix down the narrow village path. Felix didn't rush her. He matched her pace, calm, respectful, gentle, like he had all the time in the world. In the distance, the villagers watched from behind doors and windows. Is that not Myra? Yes. The ugly girl. And the billionaire is walking with her? What kind of juju is this? Their whispers followed Myra like shadows. Myra heard everything. She always heard everything. But today, she lifted her head a little higher. For the first time in her life, someone important was not laughing at her, or looking away from her, or pretending she didn't exist. Felix's voice broke the silence. "How long have you lived here?" he asked. "Since I was born," Myra answered softly. "It is all I know." Felix nodded, observing her carefully. "You talk like someone who carries more heart than words." Myra's cheeks warmed. "I just talk how I feel, sir." "You don't have to call me sir," Felix smiled. "Felix is fine." Myra almost stopped walking. A billionaire telling an ugly village girl to call him by his name? She whispered, "Felix." The word trembled on her tongue like a secret she wasn't supposed to say. He smiled again. He liked the sound of his name in her gentle voice. Meanwhile, on the other side of the village, Morocco's and Mirror plotted in anger. Mirror paced in circles. "I don't understand. Men always look at me. Why is he following her? I'm the beautiful one." Morocco's hissed, "Beauty is not enough for some men. We must use brain. We cannot let Myra spoil your future." Mirror stopped. "What do we do?" Morocco's eyes narrowed. "We must embarrass her. Shame her. Make him see she is nothing." Mirror smirked. "I can do that." Morocco's shook her head. "No. We must be careful. Felix looks like a man who doesn't like wicked behavior. If we show our true colors, he might hate us." Mirror groaned. "So what then?" Morocco's whispered a plan so evil it tasted bitter on her tongue. "We pretend to love Myra. We treat her nice. We act sweet. But behind the sweetness, we control everything. She will make a mistake. We will push her gently. And when she falls, we will be there to shine." Mirror's smile returned, slow and poisonous. "Yes, Ma. Let's make her fail." Back with Myra and Felix. They reached the old village bridge, her favorite place. "This is where I come when I need peace," Myra said. "The river is loud, but the sound makes my heart quiet." Felix stepped beside her, listening to the rushing water. He closed his eyes and inhaled deeply. "It's strange," he said. "I have traveled the world, stayed in expensive resorts, visited quiet islands, but I haven't felt peace like this in years." Myra looked at him, surprised. "You feel peaceful here?" He opened his eyes, meeting hers gently. "Because I'm standing beside someone whose heart is peaceful." Myra's breath caught. Nobody had ever spoken to her like that. Nobody had ever seen her for what she truly carried: kindness, softness, strength. A small shy smile touched her lips. "Thank you," she whispered. Felix smiled back. But just when Myra's heart began to feel light, a loud voice shattered everything. "Mirror." It was Morocco's. She came running with Mirror beside her, pretending to breathe heavily. "Myra, my daughter." Morocco's cried loudly, acting like a loving mother. "You should not walk alone. What if you fall? What if you embarrass yourself?" Myra blinked, confused. Since when did Morocco's care? Mirror forced a sweet smile. "Myra, how could you leave without me? I wanted to join you." Felix raised an eyebrow. Their sweetness sounded fake. Myra whispered, "I thought you told me to stay in the back of the house." Mirror pinched her secretly. Myra jumped. Felix noticed. Morocco's clapped her hands happily. Come, girls. Let's all walk together. As a family. Felix's eyes narrowed slightly. He sensed tension. He sensed fear in Myra's eyes. And in that exact moment, Felix decided he needed to know the truth about this family, especially about Myra, because something told him. Myra's beauty was not on her face. It was in her story, and he was ready to uncover it. For weeks, the whole village watched the same unbelievable thing. Mr. Felix always asked for Myra. Not Mirror. Not Morocco's. Not the crowd of girls who dressed up every time he visited. Just Myra. He came to help her fetch water. He brought her books from the city. He laughed at her jokes. He sat under the mango tree listening to her stories. Mirror watched all of this with burning jealousy. How? How? She screamed in her room one night. How can a billionaire pick her? Look at her face. Morocco's paced the floor, angry enough to cry. Don't worry, my daughter. I will fix this. I didn't raise you for poverty. One afternoon, Mr. Felix arrived unexpectedly. He looked different, calm, serious. He asked, Please, is Myra home? Morocco's heart jumped. She plastered a smile on her face. Oh yes, she is, she lied. But she is, busy. Felix frowned. Busy with what? Morocco smiled weakly. Cooking. You know how village girls are. Felix didn't smile back. Please call her, he said. I need to speak with her. Morocco's froze. Because Myra was not in the kitchen. Not in the room. Not in the compound. She had sent Myra to the back farm to weed, just to keep her far away. She is not close, Morocco stammered. She went out. Felix paused and looked around the compound carefully. His eyes landed on Mirror, who was already walking toward him with a forced sweet smile. Hello, Mr. Felix, she said softly, trying her best to look innocent. He nodded once. Hello, Mirror. She leaned forward shyly. You've not asked about me for a long time. Felix looked at her, really looked, and his face changed. Something clicked in his mind. Where is Myra? He asked slowly. Mirror pretended confusion. Myra? Oh, she left. She went somewhere far. We don't know when she will return. Felix's face dropped. He wasn't a fool. He saw the tension in Morocco's eyes. The fake sweetness in Mirror's smile. The uncomfortable silence in the compound. Something was wrong. He stepped closer to Morocco's. His voice became calm, dangerously calm. Where is Myra? Morocco's throat tightened. I told you she went out. Felix didn't wait. He turned and walked straight out of the compound. Mirror panicked. Ma. He's leaving. Do something. Morocco's grabbed Mirror's hand. Follow him. Myra was alone at the farm, kneeling in the dirt, cutting weeds, her face tired and dusty. She had been working for hours. Her mother had insisted. You stay here until I come. Don't show your face to that rich man today. Myra didn't argue. She obeyed, because she always obeyed. She didn't hear the footsteps behind her. Not until she heard a voice she knew too well. Myra. She turned. Mr. Felix stood there slightly out of breath, shirt dusty from running, eyes full of worry and relief. Myra, he said again, a soft smile breaking across his face. I found you. Her heart stopped. Mr. Felix, why are you here? He stepped closer. Because I need to speak with you. Because I don't like people hiding you from me. Because. He hesitated. Because I choose you. Not them. Myra blinked, tears filling her eyes. No one chooses me, she whispered. I do, he said simply. And the world around Myra changed forever. Behind the bushes, Mirror watched everything, shaking with anger. Morocco's whispered from behind her. We are finished. Mirror's voice trembled with rage. No. Myra is finished. I will make sure of it. Mirror did not sleep that night. She sat on her bed, staring at the moonlight on the wall. Her jaw was tight, her fists shaking. How can a billionaire choose her? Her voice cracked like something inside her had broken. Morocco's paced the room like a restless spirit. My daughter, calm down. Calm? Mirror shouted, standing abruptly. Ma, I am the beautiful one. I am the one you raised for this. I am the one who deserves him. Morocco's closed her eyes. I know, my child. But men are strange. Sometimes beauty does not blind them. Myra's character is different. Mirror kicked a stool so hard it skidded across the floor. Character, she screamed. Myra has nothing. Nothing. She is ugly. She is silent. She is weak. She should not be chosen over me. Morocco's grabbed her shoulders. Her voice dropped into a dangerous whisper. We are losing this battle. Mirror's breathing quickened. So what do we do? Morocco's looked toward the window, where the moon hid behind clouds. We remove her from the picture. Mirror froze. What do you mean? Morocco's stepped closer, lowering her voice even more. We cannot let Myra be around Mr. Felix. The more he sees her, the deeper he will fall. We must keep them apart. By force, if needed. Mirror's heart pounded fast. She felt fear. But she felt something else stronger. Desperation. But Myra is kind. If we hurt her. Morocco's cut her off sharply. Kindness won't feed us. Kindness won't build us a house. Kindness won't take us from this village. Mirror, listen to me. If he marries you, our lives change forever. If he marries Myra, we will die in poverty. Mirror swallowed hard. She knew her mother was right. She knew Mr. Felix choosing Myra meant she would fade into nothing. What do we do? Mirror whispered. Morocco's eyes darkened. Tomorrow morning, when Felix comes, Myra must not be here. Mirror blinked. But how? She always obeys. She won't leave. Morocco's smiled coldly. She doesn't need to obey. We just need to send her somewhere far. Somewhere Mr. Felix cannot reach. Mirror felt her stomach twist. Ma, where? Anywhere, Morocco's hissed. The farm. The stream. The old market road. It doesn't matter. But she must not see him. Mirror's voice trembled. And if she refuses? Morocco's leaned close, her voice like a knife. Then we force her. I will put her to work from sunrise until sunset. I will send her on errands that take all day. I will lock her in the backyard if I must. She must not be here. Mirror felt a shiver climb her spine. Ma, this is wrong. Morocco's face hardened. Life is not about right and wrong. It is about survival. A heavy silence fell between them. Then Mirror whispered. Okay. The next morning, Myra woke early as usual. She tied her scarf and stepped out to sweep the compound. The air was cool, peaceful. She didn't know a storm was waiting. Morocco's appeared suddenly, eyes sharp. Myra, go to the stream. Fetch all the water for the house. Myra blinked. But Ma, that will take hours. I can sweep first. No. Morocco's snapped. You go now. Myra's heart dropped. Her mother never shouted at her like that unless something was wrong. But today, you do as I say. Myra froze. Behind her, Mirror watched silently from the doorway. Her face was beautiful. Her heart was breaking. Her desperation was growing. Myra picked up the bucket slowly. Her voice was soft and hurt. Okay, Ma. I'm going. As she walked away, her mother whispered to Mirror. Good. Keep Felix here as long as you can. Mirror nodded, but her hands shook. For the first time in her life, Mirror didn't feel beautiful. She felt guilty. She felt dangerous. She felt afraid of who she was becoming. And in the distance, Myra walked alone with her buckets, unaware of the trap closing around her. While Felix was only 15 minutes away from reaching the village. The storm was coming. The news spread through the entire village like wildfire. The billionaire is coming back tomorrow. Everyone knew what that meant. The women prepared their best clothes. The men pretended not to care. And Ma Okos, she was already polishing Mirror's gold necklace and brushing her long curly hair like she was preparing a queen. But Myra, she was sitting under the old mango tree, quietly washing cassava, pretending not to hear the whispers. That night, Ma Okos burst into their room and said loudly, "Tomorrow, Felix will choose the woman he wants. Mirror, this is your chance. Don't spoil it." Mirror smirked proudly. Myra kept her eyes on her mat, silent. Ma Okos turned to Myra and hissed, "And you, do not show your face. Stay inside. Your ugliness brings bad luck." Those words stabbed Myra deeply. She wasn't shocked, she was used to it. But tonight, it hurt more than usual. Because she knew something her mother didn't know. Felix wasn't coming for Mirror. Felix wasn't coming for the beautiful girl the village loved. Felix was coming for her, the ugly one. But she stayed silent. She didn't want trouble. The next morning, the village was glowing. Drums playing, women dancing, kids running around. Mirror wore the finest blue dress Ma Okos could find. Myra wore a simple cloth wrapper. She didn't plan to go anywhere. But destiny had other plans. Around noon, a long black car rolled into the village. People screamed and ran to see the billionaire. Felix stepped out in a white shirt, his face calm but serious. The first person who grabbed him was Mirror. She pressed her soft hands on his chest and smiled. "Welcome back, Felix. I missed you." Felix's expression did not change. He simply stepped aside and walked past her. Mirror froze. Ma Okos ran forward, forcing a laugh. "Oh, don't mind her, my daughter is just happy. Please come inside." Felix raised a hand. Silence fell. His voice was firm. "Where is Myra?" The villagers gasped. Mirror's smile cracked. Ma Okos blinked like she misheard. "Who?" Felix's eyes darkened. "Myra. The one who helped me at the riverside. The one with the kind heart." Now the whole village was confused. Mirror's mouth trembled. Ma Okos whispered, "But, she is the ugly one." Felix looked her straight in the eye. "Then your eyes are blind." People gasped again. Mirror's face went red with embarrassment. Ma Okos stuttered. "But, she is nothing compared to my beautiful daughter." Felix cut her off. "Beauty is cheap. Kindness is rare." And then, without waiting for permission, he walked straight into their small compound, toward the kitchen window where Myra was hiding behind the curtain. She stepped out slowly, shaking. Felix's eyes softened the moment he saw her. "Myra." Her lips trembled. Why are you here?" "Because I made a promise," he whispered. "That when I returned, I would look for the girl with the purest heart." Mirror pushed through the crowd, tears of anger in her eyes. "But I am the beautiful one. I am the one who deserves him." Felix turned to her calmly. "You cannot deserve what your heart cannot carry." Mirror fell silent, her pride collapsing. And the villagers. They were all staring at Myra like they were seeing her for the first time. Not the ugly girl. Not the girl they mocked. But the girl the billionaire chose. Felix then took Myra's hand gently. The village held its breath. "It is time," he said softly. "Time for the world to know your worth." Myra woke up with a strange heaviness in her chest. It felt like the whole world was pressing on her shoulders. Since Mr. Felix chose to talk to her, life in the house had become a storm. Mirror barely spoke to her. When she did, her voice was sharp like broken glass. "You think you're special now? You think one billionaire can make you beautiful? Wake up, Myra. You're nothing." Myra never answered. She just lowered her eyes and kept working. But it wasn't Mirror who hurt her the most. It was Ma Okos. Every day, Ma Okos found a way to remind Myra that she was unwanted. "You should have never been born. You bring shame. You bring confusion. You will destroy your sister's future." Myra didn't cry anymore. Some pains go so deep that tears stop coming. That afternoon, the village suddenly grew loud with whispers. "He's back again. The billionaire. He came with his people today. What does he want this time?" Myra's heart jumped. She peeked through the window. And froze. Mr. Felix was walking toward their house again. But this time, he wasn't smiling. He wasn't holding flowers. He wasn't carrying gifts. He looked serious. Deeply serious. Behind him were two men who looked like lawyers. Myra's knees weakened. What is happening? Mirror saw him first. Her face lit with fake sweetness. Mr. Felix. You came again, for me, she asked, flipping her hair. But Felix didn't even look at her. He walked straight to Myra. Myra, may I speak with you? He asked gently. Mirror's smile shattered instantly. Morocco's rushed out like a storm. No. She cannot speak with you. Morocco's shouted. She is confused. She doesn't understand anything. Mirror is the one you want, not her. Felix's expression darkened. With respect, madam, he said calmly, I came here to speak to the one I choose. No one else. Myra's breath caught in her chest. Morocco's trembled with anger. No, you don't. She is not meant for someone like you. She is. Enough, Felix said softly, but firmly. I want to know why you keep stopping her from speaking. What are you hiding? Morocco's froze. Mirror froze. Myra felt her pulse pounding in her ears. Felix continued. I heard something today. Something about a promise you made. Something about forcing Myra to hide from me. Morocco's face turned pale. This man knows nothing, she shouted at Mirror. Mirror, speak. Tell him he came for you. But Mirror didn't speak. She couldn't. Her hands shook. Her legs trembled. Her mouth was dry. For the first time, Mr. Felix noticed something strange. Mirror wasn't jealous anymore. She was scared. Deeply scared. Why are you both afraid? Felix asked quietly. What are you hiding from Myra, and from me? Morocco's grabbed Mirror's hand tightly. Don't say a word, she whispered. But Felix stepped closer to Myra. Myra, tell me the truth. Have they been hurting you? Are they hiding something from you? Myra felt her throat close. She wanted to speak. She wanted to tell him everything. But Morocco's voice hit her like a slap. Say one word and you will regret it. Myra's heart cracked. Why was kindness always punished? Why was she always the one who suffered? But before Myra could answer, Mirror suddenly burst into tears. I can't do it anymore, Ma, she cried. I can't lie for you anymore. Morocco's eyes widened. Mirror, stop. But Mirror stepped back, shaking violently. Mr. Felix. There is something you need to know, Mirror whispered, choking on her tears. Myra covered her mouth. Felix took a step forward. What truth? He asked. Mirror looked at Myra with guilt that could bury mountains. Myra. You were never supposed to know this. Felix clenched his jaw. Myra, he said gently, whatever it is, I'm here. Mirror looked straight at Felix. Then at Myra. Then at Morocco's. And finally said, the reason Mama doesn't want you near Myra is because the truth will destroy everything. Myra's heart stopped. Felix's eyes darkened. Morocco screamed. Don't you dare. But Mirror whispered. It's time she knows who she truly is. The sun rose quietly over the village, painting the sky gold and soft pink. It should have been a peaceful morning. But everyone felt the storm coming. That morning, Mr. Felix returned, not with gifts, not with smiles, but with purpose. Myra stood by the doorway, her hands shaking. She didn't know what Felix had planned, but she felt in her heart that today would change everything. Mirror and Morocco's walked out too, their faces tight with fear and expectation. Felix greeted no one. His eyes were fixed only on Myra. Come with me, he said gently. Myra shook her head. Felix, please, not today. Yesterday was too much. The whole village hates me now. Felix stepped closer, his voice soft and steady. Myra, you didn't do anything wrong. You only existed. And somehow, that alone threatened people. Tears rolled down Myra's face. No one wants me here. Not even my family. Felix wiped her tears with his thumb. I want you, he whispered. Mirror's breath caught. Morocco stiffened. The villagers began gathering, sensing something big was about to happen. Felix moved to the center of the square and raised his voice. Everyone, listen to me. The murmurs quieted. I have come to make something clear. He turned, looking directly at Mirror first. You tried to ruin your sister. Mirror's eyes widened. I only wanted what was best for me. I thought I deserved. Felix lifted his hand, stopping her. You already had everything: beauty, admiration, attention. But you used it to crush others. Mirror's lips trembled. The truth hit her harder than any slap. Then Felix turned to Marocos. And you, Mama Okos, you taught your daughter to value her looks, but you never taught her kindness. Marocos lowered her head in shame. For the first time, she had no words. Then Felix looked at Myra. And his voice softened. And you, Myra. You were insulted, rejected, forgotten. But you carried kindness like armor. You suffered quietly. You forgave easily. You loved deeply. Myra sobbed. Felix continued. I came here thinking beauty could be measured with eyes, but I learned it is measured with the heart. The whole village stood still. Some gasped. Some smiled sadly. Some felt exposed because they knew they too had mocked Myra. Felix kneeled. Everyone froze. He kneeled before the girl the whole village called ugly. Myra, he said, his voice shaking slightly. I came here searching for someone worthy to stand beside me. Someone whose heart is stronger than wealth, stronger than beauty, stronger than jealousy. He looked up at her, eyes warm and full of love. Will you marry me? The crowd erupted. Some screamed. Some cried. Mirror's face fell apart: anger, shock, heartbreak all mixing into one painful expression. Marocos felt her knees buckle. She grabbed the wall to hold herself steady. Myra covered her mouth with shaky hands. Felix, you can't. I'm not like the women in your world. Felix smiled. That's exactly why I choose you, not them. Myra burst into tears. She dropped to her knees and hugged him, crying into his chest. Yes, yes, I will. The villagers clapped. Some knelt. Some whispered, we were wrong, all this time, we were wrong. Mirror ran into the house, slamming the door behind her, but even her anger couldn't silence the truth that had been revealed that day. It was never about beauty. It was about character. And character won. Felix lifted Myra into his arms. She wasn't the ugly sister anymore. She was the woman a billionaire chose. Not because of her face, but because of her heart. Myra looked at her village one last time. For the first time in her life, they didn't look at her with disgust. They looked at her with respect. And that day, Myra learned something she would teach the world. Sometimes the most beautiful people are the ones no one ever bothered to look at. Thank you so much for watching this story. If it touched your heart, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support means everything to me. This is I Told Stories, stories from the heart. See you in the next one.
Yeah. You don't see it, but I feel it. Every night, every breath inside my head. There's a storm in my mind I can't control. I smile outside but inside it shows. My laughter hides 1,000 tears. I drown in silence, nobody hears. I try to talk but the words don't stay. They fall like echoes that fade away. Every thought becomes a weight, and my peace comes a little too late. Oh, I've been strong too long, pretending nothing's wrong, but this pain keeps knocking deep in the places I can't reach. My pain's in my head, it's screaming loud. How I wish I could pour it out. It's hard to move, it's hard to breathe. This hurt don't ever leave. How I wish my heart could speak. Tell the world where words can't reach. If tears could talk, they tell the truth. The pain I hide from you. Every night I fight my mind. I pray for peace I cannot find. But where the smile is paper thin, covering fire that burns within. The world says You'll be fine someday, but they don't feel it the same way. If my thoughts can make a sound, you know the storms I carry around down. I'm tired of being brave, tired of being saved. I just want someone to see the pain that's living inside me. My pain's in my head, it's heavy now.